Well, greetings YouTubians. It's another beautiful day here on the Jersey Shore. I just stopped by one of my favorite towns, the Asbury Park, New Jersey, which has been an amazing vacation spot for years and years. I used to come here as a little kid, and as an adult, it's going through a bunch of changes these days. It has been for the last 50 years. They're doing a bunch of building. See all these really cool murals they're putting up, they've had up for years. It's a dark and stormy day. The ocean looks pretty angry, and that's part of the reason I came out here, you know. Coming to the ocean when it's bright and sunny and beautiful is one thing, but you really get to see the real character of it when it's like this, right? This is Convention Hall, right at the northern part of the boardwalk. And I'm not really sure when it was built, but it's such a beautiful old building, and I've done a couple of videos here in the past. This was the site of a bunch of amazing bands playing. There was a big music venue inside, it still is actually. Recently they used to do a motorcycle show here in the winter called Cheap Thrills, and that was just great, man. That was always so well attended because it was the winter time and people just wanted something to do. But you can see it's just got all this amazing artwork on the side. I don't know, I hope this place stays around forever. The building at the south side of the boardwalk is slated for possible demolition. This whole town has just been more or less taken over by developers and stuff. You know, it's oceanfront property, you know, which they're not making any more of. And, you know, it used to be kind of just a low-key working class town, home of the world's famous Stone Pony music venue. Down the street here, like I said, I like kind of stumbling around here during the rain when there's nobody else here, but it's things have changed, you know, and as an old guy, you know, it's like, ah, man, back in the day, you know, things were better, blah, blah, blah. And I guess that part of that is true. Life is change, and you either have to accept it and deal with it or struggle with it. So my choice is to accept it. But you can see these big giant buildings, and you know, more power to them, man. I'm sure they're millions of dollars and all that stuff, but you know, this place has got a lot of charm. It's always had a bunch of people walking around. But it was, you know, this was a pretty rough and tumble town for sure, for a lot of years. So I guess on one point, it's good to see that the economy is coming back and people are spending money and having fun. But the other part of it is that it's hard to see the past kind of go, my past, I guess. But we're just gonna take a couple of little spins down here, look around a little bit. Just want to make a quick little video. Get out of the darn weather here. All right, stay tuned. So as well as all this new development that actually I'm walking right by, you know, there's still a lot of nostalgia for the past. This bar up here, the Wonder Bar, has probably been here for over 20 years, and their logo is Tilly. It's an iconic piece of artwork that Asbury Park shares with Coney Island. I think the same guy back in the day named Tilly kind of used that as their trademark. It's kind of crazy. It's a little scary, but if you're from down here on the Jersey Shore, we've tattooed that image a lot on a lot of people. So it's kind of for locals or people that just understand, you know, the importance of all this. But this is wild, man. You know, I rented a little storefront here probably 15 or 20 years ago, and it was like, you know, $300 a month. You know, we'd have to step over, and we had to step over the, you know, the junkies and all that stuff to get in. And we were just kind of had like a half-ass art gallery and stuff, but no longer is that. But yeah, check out this, just more construction. Wow. You know, this is one of those towns that if you didn't know your way around or know some people on the street, you could get yourself in real trouble down here. You know, the Stone Pony had a bunch of bars right next door to it. It was just a cool little hideout. But there's still people around here having fun. Oof. It's colder than a witch's boob right now. I could not help but stop and look at this amazing mural. Done by the resident artist of Asbury Park, Pork Chop, and his friend Bradley Hoffer. Both these guys I know pretty well. And he's just one of the most prolific artists I've ever known. He just is continually painting and pushing the envelope and just doing just amazing stuff. Wow. I don't know if this is Pork's, but just neat stuff, man, just neat. Creativity, man, is where it's at, you know? You take a rather drab building, you know, that's just this kind of innocuous, and just do some big murals on it, and it looks like a whole nother place. But that's where it came from, Convention Hall. I don't know, I guess I have kind of a weird romantic ideal about Asbury. We used to come here as kids, and it was always such a special place. It was only about an hour or so from where I grew up, but it might as well have been a different world. Down at the other end of the boardwalk is really where I first saw my first heavily tattooed guy. And I can picture it in my mind's eye, but it made such a huge impact. You know, now all these years later, I'm that old wrinkled tattoo guy. So, I don't know, we're just gonna go down there and wrap this up. Here's a quick little look at the Stone Pony. This place has been around here forever and ever. They've got a big outside venue on the other side of the building, but this place has been, you know, just a legendary spot forever. You know, and it's basically just an old dive bar, but, well, okay, I just had to make one more stop down here at the casino. This was built at the same time as the other building up the north of the boardwalk. But now, I guess the developers that owned it have been petitioning the town to either tear it down. Well, I guess they want to tear it down. So, it certainly is an integral part of the history of Asbury Park, for sure. I'd hate to see it go. I spent a lot of good times in there as a kid and an adult. That octopus mural was also done by Pork Chop. He's just got put his stamp all over this town and just has made it even more beautiful than it is. And you know, the artists were the first people to move in here when things were really down in the dumps, and kind of revitalized it. This is the Carousel building. I have vivid memories of being a little kid and being in this building, riding this carousel, and seeing all these crazy windows. Looking at them now as an adult, they look like crying kids. Wild, but kind of spooky looking. It's all kind of boarded up here. Unsafe structure notice, blah, blah, blah. That's what makes it cool. There's another one of, I don't think that's pork, but it might be. The guy said they got paints all over. Looks like he did the floor in here too. So I've said it my whole life, you know, being close to the ocean and getting close to it just fuels my batteries. It recharges me. When I'm at my most happiest, I try to get over to the ocean. When I'm at my absolute lowest, I go to the ocean, and then everything in between. But I think the power of those waves coming in from, you know, a million miles away, crashing on the beach, you know, that energy doesn't stop when that wave breaks. I think it just continues and pushes it on, and I don't know, the whole sound of the water and the smell of the ocean. I don't know, maybe it's my Viking blood that that just gets me every time. But I'd bring you guys out for a quick little spin, and hopefully we'll be able to save that building for my kids and for my grandkids. Actually, my kids spent a lot of time in Asbury too. So, okay, I'm getting back in the truck. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you dig these videos, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you want to make some comments, I'm trying to figure all that out, but I do read them, and so far so good. It's been really encouraging, and I just want to keep doing this, man. It's very therapeutic, and it keeps my mind moving in a real positive way. You know, you just think about being creative and sharing the things in my life that are really important to me. So, all right, I'm jumping back in the truck and turning the heat on. See you, everybody.